And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, as well as our engineer extraordinaire, Nick the Geek, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
Well, thank you very much there, Mr. Legendary John Bon Jovial, and we do indeed have a full show today. Got a surprise coming up here in about, 5 or 6 minutes or so, so we better get right into the music. Let's roll a group called Long Gone West with a tune called Slow Down.
I never saw the leaves fall. Coffee to wake and some wine to sleep, but I don't feel it at all. You're like the wind rolling in on a summer blaze. Lazy river in the rapids I race. Just a minute laying next to you and time stands still. You make me wanna slow down, baby, make it easy. You're with me in a city full of neon, burning too bright. Baby, you're my yellow light. You make me wanna slow down. You make me wanna slow down. You make me wanna slow down. I'll take a walk after midnight and stay in bed until noon. Driving the curves of the coastline and trace every inch of you. I like the rush when it's us on a getaway. Soak it up, take it in at our pace. You know how to make my heart beat fast, but time stands still. You make me wanna slow down, baby, make it easy. I'll take the long way round, just as long as you're with me. In a city full of neon, burning too bright. Baby, you're my yellow light. You make me wanna slow down. You make me wanna slow down. You make me wanna slow down. You make me wanna slow down, baby, make it easy. I'll take the long way round, just as long as you're with me. In a city full of neon, burning too bright. Baby, you're my yellow light. You make me wanna slow down. You make me wanna slow down. You make me wanna slow down. You make me
And there you go. That's Slow Down by a group called themselves Gone West, Nashville-based country pop group who gets its name from the fact that all four of its members hail from states west of Nashville in Tennessee, which was the inspiration for their autobiographical theme song and title track. Their original, or their debut EP was called Tides. That was released in January of 2019. And here in March of 2020, they have their new album coming out. It's called Canyons, and you can pre-order it from their website right now and get Slow Down as an instant download. Check them out. Gone West is the name of the group. What'd you think, John Bon Jovial?
Oh, I kind of like it. It's got a nice snappy beat to it, and they kind of remind me a little bit of some of the earlier things that the Dixie Chicks did. Just that
bit,
nice,
yeah.
It's just that nice, joyous type of harmony that they were famous for back when they first hit the scene, and I guess to this day still do with their new album that's come out, which the name of it escapes me, but I know that they've got a new record out. But I digress. No, I like them. I think their production values are good, and I don't know a thing about these people other than what I just heard. If this is representative of what they're going to do, then they might have a better than even shot of getting some airplay on regular, all-American terrestrial radio.
I agree. They've got a good sound. It's polished and professional. They got a good commercial sound to them, and it's definitely easy to listen to. It's a nice, it's a nice cruising song, which you would appreciate there in your middle of the night desert drives.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I do miss doing that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's something that is very easy to miss once you get addicted to it. But that's it. I like them, and I'm going to be looking for some great things coming from Gone West. And while we're getting ready for our first guest who's standing by, I want to get our first The David Bowers Award of the Week. And our first The David Bowers Award of the Week goes to Grandpa Dan Lawson. He's a previous TDBA award winner. He's been on here several times, and he really already got the best award, which was a brand new grandson, Huxley, born Friday, March 6th, to Dan's granddaughter, Stephanie, and her husband, Brandon. Huck, Mom, Dad, and Grandpa are all doing well, we're happy to say. We congratulate you, Dan, and your daughter and her husband on the birth of your grandson. Congratulations, and maybe we'll get you back on here in the not-too-far-distant future. John Bon Jovial is our guest, ready to come on board.
I do believe that our guest is waiting anxiously in the green room. He's been going a little overboard on the snacks, though. I didn't know that we were going to have to allocate such a huge budget for catering for our mystery guest here, but nonetheless, there he is.
Alrighty, well, let's have him come on in here. Each year for the past several years at South by Southwest, we've had the pleasure of having David Martinez join us and talk to us about the events and activities that are going on in Austin with South by Southwest. And as most of you are probably already aware, it ain't going to happen this year. They have called it off, at least for the time being, because of the coronavirus situation. However, we managed to keep the string alive because David is here with us now and going to talk a little bit about hopefully what's going on down there and how this cancellation is affecting the artists as well as the city of Austin. Hello, David.
Right here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. You had me worried there for a second. Glad to have you with us. How you doing, David?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just enjoying the day. Other than that, chilling.
Well, good.
I'm off for a week.
That's a good way.
Spring break. So.
I hear you. That's a good way to be. So tell us, David, how is this cancellation, or at least the temporary postponement of South by Southwest, affecting everyone?
Well, I know from what I've read that it's a $350 million plus debt to the economy out there. But the crowd density. I could see them calling it off because the crowd density is there's so many people in such little space, and You got people coming from all over the country. You got people coming from other parts of the world. So I mean, it's not only Austin. I heard Kiss even cancel their meet and greets due to COVID-19. So it's a lot of people are talking. I do know though that a lot of the unofficial shows are still going to go on as scheduled. Which South by Southwest was originally more about Austin bands at one point, and that's basically what it's turning into for this, at least for this year.
Right. I know we had discussed that in the past. You had talked to us about the fact that it's gotten quite commercialized, and in many ways, the major groups and labels had kind of taken over. And you mentioned the fact that several of the side events, the non-authorized events, are going to continue to go ahead. And our first guest today is a young lady who will be participating and playing in those in a couple of those events that have not been canceled. How do the artists take it, David? How do the artists handle the cancellation?
Well, there's a lot locally. They did a story here the other day, and I guess I have some friends in a few bands who are looking forward to going and doing some of these events. And they're pretty bummed because it's not easy to get picked, and when you get picked, you feel like you're on top of the world, and they cancel it. So you feel like you just got punched in the gut. So some of them are. I can see how some of them were upset. I myself hadn't really had anything planned because generally on my spring break that South by is going on, but it's not this year, so I really had to change some things around. So I wasn't going to be able to go this year anyway. So and plus, being newly married, I got married in June. My wife was
yes, you did.
Pretty nervous wreck about me being out there. So
I can understand that, and rightfully so. But we do appreciate you taking a few minutes to come and sit and chat with us, and we keep your string alive of appearing every year on the David Bowers Awards to talk about South by Southwest. And I agree. I know what you're saying about how the artists can be really bummed out because not only is it not a sure thing to get booked, it takes. It takes some fingers crossed to get accepted and get booked in the events, and it can be a big stepping stone because there are so many of the major people there now that can quote discover unquote, and of course everybody wants to be discovered. John Bon Jovial, before we let David go, you want to jump in?
Yeah, real quick. Hey, David, it's great to have you back on the show again. I guess the question that I have for you is there some kind of silver lining in all of this? I mean, yeah, it's going to be a huge hit to the economy, and there's no way that you can make that sound like a good thing. However, is it possible that this action, this cancellation of the mainstream part of the show, could bring South by Southwest back to its original non-commercial roots or grassroots that it was when it first started?
Well, I think for this year at least. I mean, I mean, a lot of my friends and bands, they live in Austin. They don't even play South by Southwest anymore because it's been so commercialized. And I mean, I unfortunately, I don't think the commercialization is going to go away. But the thing is, that's with that, a lot of the great bands that I know that used to play South by Southwest all the time when it was non-commercial, like you said, don't play it because they don't want to deal with it. And then a lot of people that I've talked to, it's interesting that you mentioned that. They go tour elsewhere. They go make money elsewhere. They leave because they can't make any money during South by Southwest. For a musician, yes, playing is everything, but also making an income is also important as well. So I still see the commercialization going on, but for this year, like you said, it'll be a great thing for the local artists to really showcase their talent. Now you won't have all the foot traffic like you generally do because a lot of people are staying in from magazines, record labels, things like that. But
right.
It'll have an organic feel from what my friends are telling me out there in Austin.
Are you going to be doing any kind of a gig for this on some of the sanctioned venues, or are you going to be stepping back completely?
Unfortunately,